For this problem, we're going to use the formal definition of a derivative to find the equation of the tangent line of f of x is equal to 1 over x plus 1 at the point 1/1/2. We need to write the equation in slope-intercept form, and we must use the formal definition of a derivative to receive full credit. All right, before we get too far into this, we notice that f of 1 does indeed, if I just simply plug in 1 to this, I get 1 over 1 plus 1, and that is equal to 1/2, and that is indeed the y-coordinate that is stated in the problem, so that's good. All right, now to find the equation of the tangent line, I need to find the slope of the tangent line. So the slope of the tangent line at x is equal to 1, that's the same thing as f prime of 1, or the limit as h approaches 0 of f of 1 plus h minus f of 1 all over h. Okay, now let's see if we can simplify this. If I plug in, let's see, limit as h approaches 0. If I just plug in 1, we just talked about that, we get 1/2. If I plug in 1 plus h, I'll get 1 over 1 plus h plus an extra 1. So x is 1 plus h. Then the plus 1, the second plus 1 comes from there, all divided by h. And so let's start simplifying this. We get the limit as h approaches 0 of 1 over 2 plus h minus 1 over a half, all divided by h. And so we've got fractions inside of fractions, and so we get a common denominator on top. So on the top, we would have 2 minus 2 plus h all over 2 plus h times 2. And then this h right here becomes a 1 over h that I can multiply in front. So I have an h in the denominator, so that's like multiplying by 1 over h. And the thing in the numerator I get by getting a common denominator. Okay, so I get the limit as h approaches 0 of, okay, now on top I would have 2 minus 2 plus h, that's minus h, all over 2 times h times 2 plus h. Okay, and I notice that h's cancel, so I have the limit as h approaches 0 of negative 1 over 2 times 2 plus h. Okay, and at this point, I am now permitted to plug in 0, so I get negative 1 over 2 times 2, which is negative 1/4. And so this right here, so I don't lose sight of the tree, forest for all the trees, that was the slope of the tangent line at s equal to 1. So my tangent line is going to have slope of negative 1/4. Okay, before I go too much further into this, let me point out an alternate method. An alternate method would be find f prime of x. So notice that I plugged in 1 here. I could have left x here instead of 1 and then plug in x is equal to 1. That would work. It would be a bit more work with more variables than what I have here in red, but that would work. So the alternate method that we could do is to find the derivative in general, where instead of having 1 plus h and f of 1, I would have f of x plus h minus f of x, and then do the similar simplifications and then plug in x equal to 1. That works. I didn't do that here, mostly for the sake of variety, because we had a problem like this already in a separate review problem. Okay, now back to the question at hand. Find the equation of the tangent line at the point 1/1/2. All right, so here's my point, my slope, negative 1/4, and it passes through the point 1/1/2. And so step 2 of the problem, so all this was step 1, was finding the slope of the tangent line. Step 2 of the problem is going to be finding the equation of the line. So there's a couple ways of doing this. Method 1, we will have that y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1. So y minus y1, my point is 1/2. My slope is -1/4. And the x-coordinate of the point on the line is 1. And so expanding out, we would have that y is equal to -1/4 x. Then I have plus 1/4 plus 1/2. And so I'd have y is equal to -1/4 x plus 3/4. And so that would be one way of going about finding the equation of the tangent line. A second way of going about finding the equation of the tangent line, which depending on where you went to school might have been what you were taught, is to start off with y equals mx plus b. And I know my m is -1/4. And then to solve for b, we then plug in for the point here. So 1/2 is supposed to be equal to -1/4 times 1. And so I get that b is equal to 1/2 plus 1/4, so that b is equal to 3/4. And so therefore, my equation of the line will be y is equal to um, -1/4 x plus the b that I just found, which is 3/4. So same answer as before. Okay, so that is how to find the equation of the tangent line. First, we find the derivative, and then we use the point slope formula of the line in order to figure out what the line is.